Hi, I'm Brad Smart, and the title of this top grading tips article is How A Players Can Fail. We were featured as the cover article in an issue of Workforce Management. The article quotes leading executives, including Jack Welch, who say top grading methods are the best for picking the top talent available for all jobs. But hey, you know that. If you'd like to read the article, you have to go back to the article and click, or go to www.topgrading.com. Go to the press section and you'll find it there. The article continues to spark questions such as, do A players always succeed? The answer, of course, is no. There are no guarantees that come with embracing top grading, other than we do offer a money-back guarantee on the accuracy of our second opinion assessments of candidates. And by the way, no one has ever requested their money back. But getting back to the point, here are some of the most common ways an A player can fail. One is bad luck. As you know, business involves taking risk, and A players can do all the due diligence in the world to mitigate risk, but they can still fail. There were plenty of A players at Bear Stearns, UBS, Citi, Merrill Lynch, who got terrible results and were tossed out onto streets because of the subprime crisis they didn't all cause. Bad luck, of course, can come in the form of new competitors that have deeper pockets than yours, economic blips, terrorist acts, some country overprotecting their competitors in your industry, Congress withdrawing subsidies, lobbyists getting special advantages for their companies, but not yours, Supreme Court vagaries, you're coming down with a nasty disease. Hey, caca happens, right? But the advice is to everyone, hang in there. Of the 6,500 executives I've interviewed in depth, the vast majority had at least one huge failure in their career. But you know the most important of all competencies is resourcefulness. That persistence, drive, passion, and determination to figure out how to get over, around, and through barriers to success. They have it, so they eventually succeed. There is someone you might have once thought of as an A player who said something like, "The glory in mankind is rising from the ashes." He was in the news not too long ago. Again, Elliot Spitzer. No A player status for this guy. He's going to have to rise a lot to avoid those hot ashes. Here's a second way A players can fail. Bad job descriptions. Top graders create job scorecards with measurable accountabilities, so the job is crystal clear. But unfortunately, when A players are recruited for a job, all they typically see is a vague job description with platitudes. Too often they take a job not really knowing what they'll be held accountable for, and too often the expectations, which they learn after they join the company, are totally unrealistic. Very often they have a history of being an A player, and they would be an A player in the right job, but in retrospect, not for this job because of whatever, their skill set, their style, their passions just don't match what the job requires. The advice, hey, you think you're an A player, or even if you're not, before accepting a job offer, demand a job scorecard. Number 3, A players can fail because of bad bosses. Because I've assessed or coached 6,500 executives, and because each had an average of 10 jobs, and because I've asked all the top grading questions about all those jobs, what made them succeed or fail, or how they made decisions and got along with people and so forth. 10 times 6,500, that equals 65,000 oral case studies. What have I learned from this? A high percentage of executives I interview are A players, but I've heard a zillion examples in which really sharp executives were hindered because their boss imposed a futile strategy, or refused to listen to good ideas, or they failed to top grade the rest of the team. So with a lot of C players running around, the performance of the team wasn't so hot. Or those executives felt that their C player boss felt threatened and actively undermined them. That happens too often. And the advice is, if you're an A player with a C player boss, hit the pause button. But don't hastily quit. I've seen plenty of C player bosses who eventually performed as A players because they top graded, and they assembled a team of A players whom they could trust, and they all worked well as a team. Well, good for them. Hey, stick around when the boss says, Pat, I'm pulling together an A team, and I'll be relying on you and others to help us all succeed. My job is to top grade it and empower the team so you'll have all the fun, learn a lot, and achieve huge success. Okay, under those circumstances, stay, but be sure to perform solid due diligence on bosses before you change jobs. I have 1,000 examples in my files of confident A players not checking out the boss enough, figuring they always succeed, but sometimes failing because of that boss. So the advice is that, plus if you find yourself reporting to a chronic C player who stifles you and stifles the team, hey, look for an exit strategy, either within the company or with another company. Don't fail in a big job with an excuse that sounds like and is an excuse, oh, I failed because I went to work for the wrong boss. So I hope this advice is useful. The thread running through the advice is don't be too cocky if you're an A player. Really check out the company, the job scorecard, and the person to whom you'll report. And until next time, top grade your team and you will top grade your profits.